there's a lot of folks who have misconceptions about Islam. 64% of Americans have never met a Muslim knowingly. There is a lot of fear of Muslims and what their motives are.
Islam has faced years of negative propaganda around the world. The Ahmadiyya Muslim community has responded by leading efforts to combat negative perceptions of the faith. MTN News recently spoke to one of the men fortunate to be serving in the USA Jamaat's national press and media team.
The greatest single moment that allowed us to accelerate the efforts was a couple of our members coming to meet Hazur on a regular basis, coming to London to seek guidance from Hazur to understand how we should answer the complex questions. One of the questions that comes up is that, the Ahmadiyya Muslim community is a small minority. You read this a lot in the media when it's covered. We're a small minority. Hazur understood that, but Hazur said, why don't you think about this a different way? Why don't you share that while America is less than 5% of the world population, it's still a world leader. In that sense, size does not matter. Listen to the message. And when we shared this in various interviews and in various capacities, it had a far greater impact than us trying to share our bravado and trying to do these superiority claims. That messaging has gone on CNN, on Fox News, on various articles.
At a time the world is facing increasingly senseless violence, the true peaceful message of Islam is as important as ever.
Recently in Las Vegas, Nevada, the biggest single gun massacre in America happened. On the day that we found out, within 2 hours, we had one of the members of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Community USA media team, who's an Imam Azam Akram, and another member of the team, Rizwan Ahmed, leave within 2 hours from their hometown and fly to Nevada to have a presence there. And they had signs and they had all the material printed there. So this was a rapid response. We not only gave Islam's response to various local, international, and national periodicals, we also were able to hold our signs and show our signs to the citizens, the local citizens, and tell them about Islam, tell them about love for all, hatred for none. And the president's motorcade saw the sign of love for all, hatred for none.
Despite their peaceful message, America's Ahmadis aren't always entirely safe from Islamophobic attacks.
There was a man who had shot at a mosque of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community. Middle of the night, we believe he was drunk and he had done that. The FBI had caught him. Instead of vilifying him, we forgave him. And as we did that, and as we went through that, the community turned up. The governor, the lieutenant governor, the congressperson, the senator, everyone descended on the mosque of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community because they saw that we are representing true Islam. While justice should be served, forgiveness matters as well. And we went to his trial, Mr. Hakey's trial. We went to various things, and our community really embraced him.
Nobody is more surprised than me that I'm here today. I see the banner on the wall, love for all, hatred for none, and I'm living proof that it works. Forgiveness, education, and the grace of God will overcome hatred every single time.
The loving message of America's Ahmadi Muslims is slowly but surely changing the perceptions of those it reaches.
There was a panel of about 20 people on a 2-hour interview in prime time on Fox News not too long ago. All the representatives on that panel that were Muslim, which were over 5, were all members of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community, because they know that we represent, we are the leading provider of Islamic content, we are the largest and most organized Muslim community in America and beyond, and we have a worldwide leader. In that interview, I can tell you a couple of things. In that interview, there were victims whose families had been killed by extremists who were Muslim. In San Bernardino, in Orlando. And they were on camera, they were passionate, and they were really pained by what had happened to them. But one of those individuals turned around and looked at me and said, I may not agree with much on Islam, but the Islam that you're representing, I can agree with.